Alright guys, back here with another video, and this time we're going to be going over some test hands with Tearlament Test, Brave, whatever you want to call it at this point. The new pile, and we're going to try to make it work. And testing with this deck so far, I've been able to put up some pretty good hands, pretty good like interactions, sometimes 5 to 7 interactions, depending on how you want to look at it. And we'll just get into it. Before we do get into it, I want to make sure you guys check out the link in the description because you guys can pick up a cool playmat like this Darkwall DPE playmat. If you guys have any custom queries, you can always email us at airfairgaming@gmail.com. Make sure to leave a comment below about what you want to see inside of the store, inside of Shopify next. And if you want something special with your name on it, or a shirt or hoodie made with a custom design, like we made a BLS custom hoodie, we can make whatever you want on there. Shoot, if you want IP on there, we can put IP on there. We don't care what you want on there. We can put it on there, especially for hoodies, t-shirts, playmats. We don't care. Just email us and we'll work it out with you, or you can message me on Facebook. But yeah, let's go get into it. I have randomized the deck quite a bit, but if you guys want to make sure you see it, and I don't think I'm putting together the hand by myself, table shuffled a while ago. And let's go and get into it. I'm using this as kind of like the field center right now. Let's go ahead. So we got Fenrir, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's like extra fodder. Not the greatest. And thrust. So, depending on how our opponent interacts with us, we will potentially need this. But we pretty much have most of what we need here. We'll see. Let's see what we can do. Start off first, we're going to special summon Fenrir. Fenrir is going to add to his effect. In this case, I'm actually going to grab another copy of Fenrir. Now, currently I only have 2 copies of Fenrir in the deck, so me getting this out of the deck is actually nice since I already have a copy of the Tearlament. We don't need another one. We're about to banish this one out of our hand, so to summon the other one. The only reason I know this is because I did quite a bit of test hands with this. So we're going to go ahead and activate King of Swamp, because we want to go ahead and get it in the grave, just in case we do mill a copy of a monster for fusing. And we don't want to mill a poly. We don't thin the deck. This deck is all about deck thinning in the way it's currently constructed. Apparently, I passed by it. Polymerization. Now, the poly is currently interested in the deck. I need to put Chimera in the extra deck. I currently don't have one. Still looking to pick one up locally. And it's about to get it reprinted, so. Okay, now this is what our hand currently looks at. And this is obviously could be like anything in your deck if your opponent actually responds to you at all. And let's go ahead and activate Tearlament Test. We'll banish Fenrir. He'll banish the Fenrir. And then this is going to trigger. I'm going to let my opponent cut. Kind of like to do that just to give it a little more randomization. I'm just going to mill 3 up from my own deck. I already have that. Didn't mill anything, but it was still Gucci. Didn't hurt to see another King of the Swamp. Let's go ahead and see what we can do here. We don't have too much crazy stuff because the opponent can't interact with us right now because we're test playing hands. We're going to detach the Tearlament Test, and we'll get 3 to the 2 tokens. So we'll get my boy Zane and the YCS token. Turn these tokens into Cherubini. Now this hand could obviously be better, but we'll activate this and we'll go ahead and send Enchantress for cost. Activate Enchantress, and we'll get at least some interactions here. Now this is one of those hands where you're like, wow, I really wish I had something else. But right, is it your hand? Play this and get your token. And this goes to grave. When it interacts at all, you get Foolish Burial Goods, and you can get access to your field spell and be able to do much more. Who's special? The Griffins, Open Griffin, Trigger Faithful, get Draco back. Now this is not the craziest hand, but it at least puts up some type of interruptions. And the Dracossack and the Cherubini could technically turn into something else here, but we're going to activate the Faithful now. And we'll go. And we'll grab the Illegal Knight, because this is why we play Illegal Knight, because I had this type of situation run into me, and this is also a level 7 extender, technically Illegal Knight is, so it allows you sometimes to be able to, when you don't see Fenrir, you can still make a rank 7 play, like so a special here, and this gets discarded and you get to re-equipped. So you got 2 forms of interaction right now on your opponent's turn, which is not crazy, but this is the part where like innovation needs to come into play, because you can easily turn this into like currently in the extra deck. Oh, I forgot. This is what we have. I'm about to say I almost forgot part of the combo. Sprint, and we're gonna send. I'm over here about to fumble the bag. So we're gonna send a copy of Merly, and Merly is gonna fuse. Merly will get us into Rokalos. Or you can get to Grapha. So whichever you feel like you need more in that situation, you go for it. Both are good, but we'll go ahead. Or we could go into Collide of Heart, which is pointless, unless you're going second. So we got Rokalos, Bounce, and then a Negate. So we have pretty good interactions. We've got 3 interactions on our opponent's turn right now. It's pretty good. Not the craziest, but as you notice, this could have been Field Spell. Or it could be triple T. So if opponent interacts at all, you have access. But yeah, that's it for the first test hand. At least we got basically the whole gist of the combo right there. And now King of Swamp is pretty crucial, but you almost always have access to it when you have Chair Beanie as a legal card. And that was with the mediocre hand. Basically, your best hands are when you have access to double Field Spell, and I'm only currently running 2 of the Cashier Field Spell, because I only have 2. I may end up putting 3 in, but currently like 48, 49 cards. I think I was shuffling, table shuffling, I think I saw 49. I thought it was 48, but close enough. Maybe it could add a 6th Field Spell to get us a 50th card. It doesn't really matter this one, because most of the stuff you get done is by like milling multiple cards anyway, so it's all gonna be random. So let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, it's very similar. Okay, we got Ride already. Okay, Field Spell. Cool. Let's go ahead and get into it. And we'll activate. We'll go and get this. In this case, I'm thinking I may want to actually. Yep, we're gonna go for an additional Cashier Tearlament here, because we can. We're gonna get our Field Spell popping. Let's go ahead and Field Spell. And sometimes you can leave this guy on board if your hand ends up being really well. We're gonna go Sheeran. And now we're gonna get everything out of our deck that we can, because we're gonna start milling randomly. And that's where the deck thinning part comes in, where it doesn't feel like you're playing much more than 40 cards, because you just get a lot of stuff going. And then we get to, we're gonna mill at least 6 right here, depending on if we hit any of the good stuff. And since we already have Draco back, we don't have to worry about that. We want to go ahead and activate Faithful now to get a hold of Griffin before we start popping off, because we don't want Griffin to get milled at all. I'd rather it mill Legal Knight any day. We can also mill Scream, mill Sulik, mill Melta Noise with another Tearlament to get it back to our hand. Melta Noise has been pretty solid in Testants. So, to protect ourselves here, we're going to go ahead and activate Griffin, Special Summon. And we're going to activate Sharon. Pitching. Oh, this is also going to get equipped, because we added Special. Now, we're going to mill 3. And then this is going to trigger. Mill 2. Okay. This is not that great, but it's fine. We're going to add. I found ways to get, because this is like the worst swing mill right now. We're going to add off of the Sulik. Now here is where it becomes interesting. We have not normal summoned. So in reality, we can just get this out of our deck right now. It's a level 4 that we can normal summon to make a redoor, so we get a guaranteed fusion. So we gotta play around with that, and we gotta keep in mind that we want to be able to make Chair Beanie this turn before we do that. So, so let's see. So we gotta be a little tricky here, because our zones are clogged right now. So let's see. Got this engrave. Cool. cool. Now our problem is gonna be here that we can go normal. We can't activate this effect because of we activated right. Or we can just see you can say this on our opponent's turn if you want. Probably not the best way to activate Tearlament Test, banishing a copy of Tearlament Test from grave, or we can banish Solic. Yeah, we'll banish this because we're more likely to hit. Okay, we'll go ahead and banish. Mill 3. And this is where the randomness comes in, because it ends up not hitting anything, but that's fine. We'll go here. And this is where you really wish you didn't hit Merly. Like, you really wish you didn't hit Merly. We'll go here. Activating, detaching this. Getting your 2 tokens. Well, getting 2 different types of tokens here. Throw it back to old YCS days. And this is where you're going to tribute off Dracossack to pop Sheeran. Got different ways you can go about it. Sheeran's going to trigger. This is where it gets interesting. We'll go ahead and go Sheeran, activate, fuse with Merly and Reinhardt. This is what I had to do last time. And we will go here. And we will go into. Yeah, there we go. Then we got her. Then we got her. Got our Collider Heart. And then we're gonna take these 2 tokens because they're level 3s. Go into Cherubini. Now this is the tough spot here. We're gonna effect send. This is a tough one. Okay, the difference was last time I had a way to keep another monster on board. Got to really think ahead. Sometimes you don't have enough gas, because ideally I want it to. Let's make this is a tough decision. We could technically activate this, sending King of the Swamps. We already did our right shenanigans this turn already. Now, if you want to, just for pure showing you, so because in reality you want to keep this on board, but hypothetically speaking, you want to be able to. So like, let's say they try to interact on our turn, and you negate it with Griffin, and then this is what you end up doing. This is where cool things get cool. So I want to show. We'll take this token, which is now basically a dead card, with the Cherubini. Make sprint effect is going to send Merly now that we milled earlier, but now it's back in the deck. Merly is going to fuse with the King of the Swamp we sent. And it can send. Oh wait, well, this is gone. It can fuse with the King of the Swamp for Grapha or Rukalos, depending on what you feel is better. So we'll go. We'll just send this. Trigger field spell, blowing up Collider Heart. Collider Heart is going to bring itself back and send a Tearlament card from deck to grave. Now we don't have anything to fuse with right now, but that's fine. We can send a Scream. Scream is going to get us a copy of Solic. Now everybody knows Collider Heart Solic is a really good interaction. So this may be enough. Just like these 2 cards, the 3 cards are probably enough to stop most decks from playing, if they don't have a way to like clear. Because also the field spell. So you got, and then this is going to allow you to be able to potentially go off as well. So yeah. It makes it really interesting that you have to like really play with this deck to get it rolling sometimes. You gotta like play with it, because I could have went different routes, but yeah, these are kind of like mediocre hands. Sometimes you get really crazy hands, and you get a lot of interaction because we haven't used any of the mill fivers, the shizus, and that just you haven't drawn a foolish barrel or a foolish berry goods or anything like that to make sure that my plays are like fluid. I haven't drew them, so let's go ahead and try again. Okay, and I keep drawing like one of, so one of, 4 1-0 straight. Okay. So these are the hands where they're like, man, I could do so much better. Now, I'm going second. See, this is the card I've been wanting to see to show you, or a way to get to it. I mean, we have a way we can just discard it and add. But let's see. We'll go second, I guess. Going first is just going to set up a standard adventure line, which is not crazy. Let's go ahead and activate the Fateful from deck. Yeah, of course. And then I don't know if we can really get too much craziness here. We may get lucky, because we're going to get a shuffler. Faithful Adventure is going to activate. I'm going to grab a copy of the Griffin. I'm going to discard this Triv Karma. I don't know why I'm shuffling so much. But if you guys like these type of videos, make sure to leave a comment. Special Griffin, activate Triv Karma, and this will let me grab any of the Tearlament name cards that have, or Timberlake cards that have Visa Starfrost in it. Field Spell is going to get activated from, and I'm going to grab the, and this character is going to grab a copy of Sheeran. Now this ends up probably, depending on what I mill, ends up being basically the same play I did last time. Remember, Sheeran and Merle and all these guys are limited to one. I drew like a bunch of one-offs, Draco back one-off. And this is a deck full of like 49 cards, I think, right now. So let's go ahead and go. We're going to activate Sheeran. In this case, I'm probably just going to discard this because I could potentially normal summon the Medora. I'm going to discard this Merle. So cut myself. Mill. 3 cards. Okay, we're going to mill 2 more. Merle has no way to fuse. Okay. Okay, this is where it becomes really odd. I have no way to fuse because I don't play Mud Dragon or Garuba. This is why the extra deck is such a problem now. Like, you have to worry about that so heavy. Like, and then if I was to go effect, I guess I can get another right to my hand. It doesn't matter where it comes from, but technically you're going to add it from your deck normally. And like, this is kind of not the greatest, but maybe a shuffler could get it done sometimes. So we'll just go Time Thief. My opponent's turn. I don't even think we can fuse. There's no way to fuse. And that's the problem now. We don't have Kit. I miss Kit already. But yeah, that's probably one of the worst hands you could probably draw. Because I drew like so many one-offs. But yeah, if you guys want to see more stuff like this, like you can see, Tearlament is still playable. You still do a lot of things with it. A lot of brave stuff. And I didn't draw like really that great at all. Other than the first couple hands, I was drawing Fenrir. And you can see the rank 7 in the Draco set combo. Let's just show another couple hands. Because I didn't really table shuffle in between those hands, so it makes it harder. And I didn't get to show you when the. Sometimes you see beasts when you're. I didn't get to show any mill 5s. I'm drawing a bunch of one-offs, bro. This is okay. This is decent. Because like what I said, anytime you see this, you get to do the rank 5, or sorry, the rank 7 Dracosec play. And like, you'll get to guarantee yourself getting to putting this on board for the annual. If you see this and this, or Griffin and this, you get guaranteed copies of the whichever copy you don't have, because you get to do Cherubini into Enchantress. Go second. Field spell, field spell. That's what you want to see. Field spell, and then I got King of the Swamps. So I get to guarantee myself all the entrants. So that hand's good. Basically, you guys can get a gist of what the deck does whenever you actually happen to draw well. If opponent happens to asteroid thing in this deck, it could hurt, but sometimes you open really crazy and Ash doesn't do anything because you have the mill 5 cards. Keldo and another target. Why is Dracoback always in my hand? And then there. So when you see Keldo, you get the guarantee to do the discard play off of the whatchamacallit, and then you get to, yeah, we'll just grab Kelbeck, and then during the Brave thing, you get to discard it after you go to search, and then you get the mill 5, and then you get the mill off this, and you get to do the Dracossack play. So they hand really good. Anytime you see Dracossack in this deck, you get guaranteed the Brave package because of the tokens. So that's really cool. But yeah, make sure you guys are liking the videos. Leave a comment. See what you want to see next. I'm going to be working on a bunch of decks, and I want to know which one you guys want to see. Why do I keep drawing all these one-ofs? One of. I mean, this is still pretty solid. And if I mill stuff, I can fuse this later. So it's not bad. It's just interesting they keep doing that. But yeah, smash the like button. Deuces.